Halo, selamat sore teman-teman. Welcome back to another series of AACC Global Event. And today, in this lovely morning from UK, of course, we have a visit coming from University of Huddersfield. So, University of Huddersfield is located in UK. So, throughout this session, later on, we will be discussing a couple different sides of the university itself. And please stay tuned for the entire show for the next 45 minutes to 1 hour. And you may address any question related to the university, to the program, and perhaps for those of you who are wondering whether the scholarship are available or not. And the best part is we are going to showcase two Indonesian students which currently are studying at University of Huddersfield. I'm gonna hide the name later on. I'll showcase the name later on. But in the meantime, we have Sued, the regional representative of University of Huddersfield. Hi, Sued. How are you today?
Hi, Victor. I'm good, thank you.
So, what time is it now in your time zone? Is it morning? Where are you based in?
I'm based in Malaysia, so it's currently 4 p.m. So I look after the whole region, like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore.
Okay. Yeah. So I think without any further ado, since the purpose of the event itself is actually for us to, to get to know and to get more insight about the University of Huddersfield from the expert herself, of course, Sued. Mm-hmm. So I'm just gonna start, Sued. So maybe can you just give us a little introduction on University of Huddersfield, like what is the location, where about the location, and what is the ranking, and maybe that's related with that?
Sure. So University of Huddersfield is located right in the center of the UK, in a beautiful West Yorkshire area between Manchester and Leeds. So Manchester city centre is just half an hour away by train, and Leeds city centre is just 20 minutes away by train. The nearest international airport is Manchester International Airport, which is just an hour away from Huddersfield. And in terms of the subject-specific rankings, we have Performing Arts, which is ranked 27th in the QS World University Subject Rankings. And in the Times Higher Education World University Rankings, we have our Business and Economics, which are ranked between 201 and 250. And in the UK, according to the Guardian's University League Table 2020, our education and sociology subjects, they are ranked 6th overall. Thank you.
Okay. So you were mentioned about it is 30 minutes by train from Manchester, Leeds 20 minutes. So I'm pretty sure since it is in city centers, it is pretty much surrounded by everything, including shopping mall, isn't it?
Yes, the campus is located just next to the town center. So it's very convenient, like during weekends, students, they can just hop on a train or hop on the bus to get to Leeds or Manchester, for like a day trip kind of thing. For like proper Korean or Japanese kind of restaurants, you can probably go to Manchester to get them. Yeah.
Okay, because that would be quite important for many of Indonesian students. The question would be, is it closer to Chinatown? Is it closer to get a food is actually across the campus location? Because that's always been a big number one question coming from the students when they are actually choosing university. Okay. All right. So an interesting insight about the location. And of course, thanks for mentioning as well on the ranking itself. And now can we move on to a bit more? If you could share it with us about the campus and the programs that University of Huddersfield offer. Yes, you mentioned about performing arts, number 27, business, education, and sociology courses. But I think apart from that, perhaps you could walk us through just a bit more on the campus and the program itself?
Yep. So as I said just now, the campus is located just next to the Huddersfield Town Centre. Therefore, all the necessities are within walking distance. For example, the nearest supermarket, which is Sainsbury's, is just 5 minutes walk away from the campus. And then we have private student halls. They are all located either behind the campus or in the town centre. And they are all just less than 10 minutes walk. So from the bus station or train station. If you walk to the campus, it's only 10 minutes. Then, so everything is within walking distance. You don't have to take a taxi, you don't have to take a bus, or you don't have to take a tram. You don't even need a bicycle over there. So you can just walk around. Yeah.
So basically, no traffic, isn't it?
Yeah, you just walk around. So you won't, for example, you have a class at 9:15, and your student accommodation is just behind the university. So you can just wake up at maybe 8:45 and then walk to your classroom at 9 o'clock. It will only take you 5 minutes. So you will reach your classroom at 9:05. Yeah, so it's
okay. So that's pretty much convenient then.
Yeah. Let me share to you a short video of our campus tour.
Yeah, okay, sure. Let's see the campus tour video. Yeah. All right. So that's interesting point of view. So it's not because Suet saying this and that, but it is in city center, because I saw in the video, it's basically the train station. It's just next to the campus location, which what mentioned is it is quite a pretty much walking distance. So I think this is quite convenience. And I think from the point of view of commuting, when you are actually taking your degrees at University of Huddersfield, it is quite convenient. And of course, I think from the point of view of saving costs, you are saving a lot of money by commuting or using a public transportation, I suppose. Okay, so Suet, since we're still discussing about the campus, and I think we can carry forward to the program itself.
Yep. So in Huddersfield, we have 6 academic schools in total. So the first one, we're looking at School of Applied Sciences, where we offer courses like chemistry, chemical engineering, forensic, and pharmacy. Then we have School of Computing and Engineering. We have courses like computer sciences, automotive engineering, E&E, mechanical, and also games design. Next, we have School of Human and Health Sciences for courses like physiotherapy, nursing, podiatry. In the business school, we have courses like international business, business management, marketing, law, hospitality, as well as logistics and supply chain. And then we have also School of Education and Professional Development, offering courses such as early years, early childhood, teaching English, and as well as human resource development. And finally, in School of Arts and Humanities, we have courses like performing arts, music performance, music technology, architecture, fashion design, photography, quantity surveying, and also filmmaking.
Okay, that's quite a lot of program range that's actually offered by University of Huddersfield. Out of curiosity, Suet, just you mentioned because a couple different programs. So as a regional representative, when you're managing in Indonesia and Malaysia market or Southeast Asia?
To be Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, just
Okay,
three
so
countries.
yeah, okay, so Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore, because you mentioned about a lot that different programs, right? So in your experience as a regional representative coming from the institution, what is the trend? And many of the students are coming across from that three different countries are taking which program, and do you have any, a general insight which program that they're taking?
Yes, I would say the biggest one is business and engineering.
Okay.
But we also see a trend in arts and design as well. So it's becoming more popular. And then specifically in Malaysia, courses like physiotherapy, it's also very popular. Yeah.
Okay. So meaning, of course, along that so many program that you mentioned, of course, there's always been a popular one, right? Which actually coming from the students' point of view, and of course the parents' point of view as well. When talking about the program, when students or parents are actually choosing one particular university and one particular program, that would be related to what's next after the graduation, right? So in that regards, I think I have a question. Did University of Huddersfield offering a sort of kind of a placement year to the students upon the completion the program, and how does it work, and is it paid? Can you share a bit on that?
Yep. Most of our courses, we offer an optional placement year. So placement year, it falls between year 2 and final year of a bachelor degree. So students are required to secure a placement job so that they can work in the industry for a full 48 weeks, and it's full time. So most jobs are paid. At the end of the placement year, students are also required to submit a placement report. So each school, right, they have their own placement unit to support students to secure the placement job. So the placement units, they have strong links with the industries. So they will advertise placement jobs in the placement portal. They run placement fairs as well twice a year. They also help students to check their CVs. They prepare them for their interviews and also assessment center tests, all this kind of stuff. So I would highly recommend that students in second year to really start looking for jobs at the beginning of the academic year. So don't keep it till like the end of the term. When it's close to summer, you are unlikely to secure a placement job by then. So usually students, they will start applying from the beginning of year 2. So keep applying for jobs, attend interviews to practice your skills, and don't give up. So I have a short video here to share. So let's listen to what Cleo, who is from Indonesia, that she has her comments and her experience about her placement in Cummins. So maybe you can just play the video.
Yeah. Okay, let's watch the video then.
My name is Cleo. I'm doing automotive and motorsports engineering, and I'm currently in placement with Cummins doing CPE engineering. Cummins is a diesel engine manufacturer, and they do distribution as well for components that they make. I found out about the work placement from the e-placement portal from the placement unit. Going back to uni, I definitely know that hard work does pay off. Like all the hard work I put in my second year came into my placement year. So coming back to my final year, I definitely know that I'll try to do better to get a graduate positions. I think I realized that engineering is such a wide name to it. It's there's so many aspects to engineering. It's not just what my head was thinking engineering job was. I came here and then there was things like customer engineering and machine integration and being a CPE engineer, a test cell engineer. There's lots of other opportunities for engineering, definitely. My dream job would definitely be working in a F1 team, maybe an F1 engineer.
Okay, interesting insight coming from the students herself. But just for the sake of the audience information, when we're talking about the placement, and just to avoid a wrong impression, because sometimes other uni also mention, oh yeah, there is a placement, but turns up to be that is actually a what they call it a part-time job. So just to clarify, so this is not a part-time kind of job thing, right?
No, because you're required to fulfill the requirement, which is 48 weeks full-time, and you have to have a contract with the company as well, that you need to show it to your tutor, which is the
Okay.
placement unit as well, yeah.
Okay, so since that's a part of the placement unit, so again, that's a legit, that absolutely not a part-time kind of job thing, right?
No, yeah, because you have to fulfill the 48 weeks full-time, and also at the end of it, you have to submit a report.
Okay. So I think that's another reason of what the difference between University of Huddersfield with any other institution. In case that our audience today is actually watching this live session, are comparing in between. So this placement year that actually mentioned by Sued as a regional representative, saying that this is paid, and of course there is a structure, how to say this, recruitment in order for you to get the placement year. So it doesn't like hand it over just like that. So you need to make an effort as well. And as what Sued mentioned again, tips coming from her, you should start as soon as possible, right, Sued?
Yes, correct. It's not guaranteed that all the jobs are paid. It depends on the industry as well, and it depends on the company. Sometimes the companies, they probably they will support some the travel fare. So depends on the industry and jobs. Like for example, in events, right? Students, they usually go for stuff like volunteering kind of jobs, because it's per event. So it's not like a full paid job, full-time job kind of setting. Yeah. So it depends on the industry, and depends on the job, and depends on the company as well that you get.
Yeah. So I think that's the reason that you're highlighting that for them actually to start searching earlier, like as early as second year, so they could actually, I mean, I know that all the experience are useful, but if you could get a placement and get paid, that's even better, right? So I think
correct.
Hearing that, I think it is important for the students itself to start when they're actually sitting in the second year and start interviewing, sending CV, and actually connecting with the career center team, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So earlier, I think we also mentioned, and I did ask you the question about the popular courses, but I think there is, for the sake of our audience, once again, Suet, because we also have a couple of students who basically are looking for a master's degree, not master's degree, a PhD program by research degrees program. So is that, do you have any sort of kind of an insight from your point of view, and perhaps do you have a information or any students that could share the experience?
Yes. We also have some Indonesian students who will come over to do their research degrees. So I have Satini from Indonesia who's currently doing her PhD. So maybe we can watch her video and see what she says about her experience there.
Okay. Let's watch the video.
My name is Sartini. I'm from Indonesia. I'm doing PhD in accounting in the business school. This university offer a very good supervisor that fit my research area. I like the facility. The library really helped me in finding the reference for my researches, and it helped me in supporting my literature review, my discussion, anything related to my research. I also could find any kind of software that I need. At the moment, I need an NVivo. I just ask to the library, and they will support me to find the software. This university offered me a very good support. I have already attended more than 10 conferences as a presenter, and one conferences I've been invited as a speaker. And all these conferences were funded by the university. I was a lecturer in Indonesia, so after finishing this program, I will come back to my country and hopefully I can attain a professor in accounting.
Okay, so as earlier mentioned, of course, the popular program that actually always coming from Indonesia or any other Asian students, as what Suet mentioned, is art, design, business, and engineering, of course. But can we touch just a bit on the research degree, Suet? Do you mind?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Okay, since we are actually watching Sartini from Indonesia, since she's actually taking the PhD degree. So can you give us just a bit information of the quick process of PhD students to actually securing their program at University of Huddersfield? I mean, what is the typical general process that they need to went through?
All right. So it's pretty straightforward. So all you need to do is to go on our website under the research degree area, right? There's a staff profile. There's a link where you can view all the profiles of all the research staff that we have. So you need to find one that suits your research topics, and then you approach them, you email them, and ask them if they're willing to become your supervisor. Of course, you need to send off your proposal first, your research proposal. So you have it ready and email it to them. And then if they agree, then we can put in an application.
Okay. So that's pretty much straightforward. But in between process, are you also assisting, helping in contacting in between if the students are, say, for example, haven't got any answer, or they already sending this email to each respective person, but there is still no reply. So I assume.
Yes, of course. I will chase it up for you. Yes.
Okay.
I'll be involved. Yes.
Okay, good to hear that. Okay, so moving on to our next question, of course. This will be related with how to say this, work-life balance. In this case, maybe study-life balance, of course. And this always been a question coming from international students when they're actually flying into the foreign country and they don't have much friends. So in regards to that, so is there any Indonesian or Asian student community at the University of Huddersfield? And
yes.
if yes, what are actually they're doing?
We do actually have an Indonesian society on campus. In fact, we have the president who will join us later, who will see who is Richard. So he can share as well about the Indonesian society later. But it's very happening on campus. So they organize events like Melindo Night, where they do joint events with the Malaysian society. So they call it Melindo, which is Malaysian and Indonesian night. So they dance, they sing, they do competitions as well. I can show you a short video as well, like how happening it is on the campus. So please, can you share the video?
Yeah, let's just watch the.
Yeah,
Okay,
so the
looks like
one
a
that
lot of
we
fun.
yeah, the one that we saw just now, it's the International Food and Culture Festival where they run it like twice a year. So basically, all student societies have to take part. They dress up in their traditional costumes. They make their own food from their country, and they share it among the rest. So that's how it is. How happening it is on campus.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, from the video itself, later we can actually just ask their experience, of course, the current students' experience, which we mentioned earlier in the beginning that there will be two students, which actually are current students of University of Huddersfield, which later on all the viewers today you can ask a lot of questions related with his experience, and perhaps if you want to know more about this any Indonesian community and actually what is typically the activity that they're doing. So later on, save all of your question till the end, okay? So let's moving on to the next question that we have. Again, when we trying to compare, of course, from the student's point of view, why we should choose Huddersfield versus other United Kingdom university?
Well, in my opinion, so because in Huddersfield we offer very generous amount of scholarships. So the scholarships is for every year of your studies. It's not just for the first year. So when you get your scholarships, you get it for year 1, year 2, and year 3.
Okay.
Secondly, because Huddersfield is a town, therefore the cost of living is a lot more affordable. Unlike in bigger cities where the cost of living is higher. For example, the student accommodations is definitely higher than in Huddersfield. Also, there are more entertainments in big cities, so you tend to spend more as well. And also, finally, we are rated TEF Gold, which is the Teaching Excellence Framework. We are rated Gold for our teaching quality.
Okay. That's a lot of how to say it is an extra stars is actually to compare Huddersfield with any other UK university. But just to reiterate and just to inform to our audience today, can you explain a bit on the TEF Gold? I know that it is a teaching excellent, but it is it given to all the UK uni, or is it only Huddersfield in these matters?
So Teaching Excellence Framework is a UK government ranking where they rate all the teaching quality of all UK universities. So you can just Google up on Google, right? There's the results where it's gold, silver, and bronze. And gold is the highest. We are rated gold.
Okay.
So it's for all UK universities. So you can just check the results online.
Okay, so I think it's pretty similar with each country has their own how to say this, a certification and qualification. So if it is gold, meaning as you said, it is the highest rank, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Correct.
that sounds another good reason to choose Huddersfield. Okay, so can we moving on? Okay, you mentioned earlier about the amount of scholarship every year of the studies. Can you a bit elaborate on the offer of the scholarship to international students, specifically, of course, for Indonesian students?
Yep. So this year we're doing a joint scholarships for the whole region, which is Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. So we are offering up to £5,000 per year to students. The amount of scholarships, it depends on the course that you choose and which school it falls under. Also, it depends on your grades from your previous studies, as well as your performance during the scholarship interview. So, for example, if you apply for an engineering course, the tuition fee is £16,000, and then you get this scholarship, which is the maximum, which is £5,000. So you £16,000 minus £5,000, you only pay £11,000 for that year. So, as I mentioned earlier, the scholarship is for every year of your studies. So in year 1, you pay £11,000. Year 2 and year 3, subsequently, you'll still pay £11,000 for every year. So the fees are locked. When you come into Huddersfield, you pay this amount. It will be the same for the next few years.
Okay. So you mentioned about getting the scholarship. There is an interview. Sometimes it is a scary thing for many students to enter an interview. Can you just elaborate on that piece? I mean, what kind of question perhaps that related with the question that they're going to went through the interview, or any specific preparation, because sometimes it is scares students, right, when we're talking about an interview.
Well, it's not scary at all because yeah, there will be an interview brief that I will send it out to students, so to prepare them for the interview. So I'll roughly go through like what questions you're expecting. So pretty much it's about the course that you applied for, and then how much you know about the UK, how much you know about Huddersfield as well. So it's like how much research you've done and why you choose Huddersfield, and why do you think you should get the scholarships as well. So yeah.
Okay, so that's the cheat sheet question, isn't it?
Yes, correct.
Okay, so as what Suet mentioned to all our viewers and audience, especially those who are seeking for a bachelor program, worry not and do not scared, because as what mentioned, its scholarship interview is quite straightforward. Of course, you need to, how to say this, pass the entry requirement and eligibility, and of course there is this interview which will be assessing why you actually need. I mean, why you should get that scholarship. Okay.
Correct.
So that's actually pretty much straightforward. Later on, perhaps we could just hear it from a current students, which will be sharing on the piece of the scholarship, and for them as well to sort of kind of share a bit experience on that. So final question before we moving on to current students of University of Huddersfield, from scale 1 to 10, how hard is to live and study in UK? In your opinion, of course. So actually just to encourage them, because I think especially during this challenging time, during this pandemic time, you probably could share your insight.
Well, as an alumna myself, I think it isn't hard at all for students, specifically from Southeast Asia, to study in Huddersfield. I enjoyed my time over there very much. So I would say, based on the scale, probably 2, because it wasn't difficult at all. Huddersfield is a town. It's a very countryside kind of environment. There's less distraction as well, and lots of friendly people. So it's very suitable for students to study, and then you have everything you need in the town center. And you also will get the support that you need from your tutors, from your lecturers, from the school as well. Like what Satini mentioned in the video, she got a lot of support from the school.
Okay, that's an interesting point of view, since you are actually alumni yourself. So meaning you later on also could share to your students, to those who are interested, to our students, is actually where to find a good food, where to find
Sure.
how to save the cost of accommodation, and how to pick one. So later on you could actually share that personal reference, right?
Yeah, but I graduated like 4 or 5 years ago, so probably our current students can share more.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, Swed, but do not go anywhere, because I think I'm gonna introduce the current students from University of Huddersfield, the students who's actually from Indonesia, the 2 students. Let me just introduce both of them. So we have today with us Michael Alpha Belsazar. So Michael is taking a Bachelor Honor Music and Sound for Image. It is his first year. And we have Richard with us as well. He is Indonesian President Association. And he is in final year taking architecture program. So without further ado, and I think I'm going to switch my language into Bahasa mode and probably sort of kind of mix in between. So apologize for that, Sweat, but
It's fine. I think I can understand a little.
Okay. Hi, Michael and Richard. Apa kabar?
Hai, bagus.
Okay. So selamat sore dari Jakarta. Berarti sekarang selamat pagi kalau di UK ya.
Pagi,
berarti ya.
iya.
Di UK ya. Oke. Nah, tadi kita sudah ada sedikit berbincang mengenai program, lalu mungkin tadi udah dikupas sedikit mengenai experience community di sana, dan mungkin nanti ada spesifik pertanyaannya juga nanti buat Richard juga kali ya, dan buat Michael secara khusus gitu. Tapi nih kalian kan berbeda tahun nih gitu ya, boleh nggak sekarang perkenalkan sedikit tentang diri kalian dulu, kayak program apa sih yang kalian ambil, terus joinnya di tahun berapa gitu ya, terus sedikit prosesnya aja gitu. Mungkin bisa dimulai dari Michael atau Richard.
Michael bisa mulai dulu.
Oke. Ya, go ahead Michael.
Ya, tahun pertama baru masuk sini kan tahun lalu kan pas
Ya.
COVID.
Pada saat COVID ya berarti ya.
Iya. Jurusannya music for film. Jadi musik buat film gitu sama TV atau apa.
Oke. Richard?
Oh iya, kalau saya udah lama banget di sini, udah 4 tahun. Ya,
Oke, hampir 4 tahun ya. Final year soalnya ya.
Iya, final year, dan saya juga ambil foundation juga, art foundation di sini.
Oke.
Ya, jadi makanya 4 tahun.
Oke. Nah, ini kan berarti kan kalau dari Michael nih yang cukup mungkin kalau kita bilang mulainya agak kurang beruntung ya tahun lalu pas pandemi, dan mungkin kelasnya kita pengen tahu dong karena pas pandemi ini gimana nih belajarnya, lalu mungkin bisa jalan-jalan nggak sih, dan mungkin bisa sharing experience dari Michael dulu begitu mulai, karena kan baru tahun pertama ya Michael ya, dan saya nggak tahu nih apakah selama hampir setahun ini apa sih yang dilakukan oleh Michael, apalagi terutama di banyak lockdown gitu, karena nggak cuma kita ngomongin di Inggris atau mungkin di negara lain gitu ya.
Ya, di Inggris kan lockdown 2 kali. Tapi awal-awal gitu ada beberapa kelas yang onsite kan. Tapi menurut saya, maksudnya kayak tadi Victor bilang agak kurang beruntung. Menurut saya sih enggak ya, biasa aja. Banyak positifnya juga sebenarnya.
Oke. Tapi sebenarnya berarti tidak mempengaruhi pembelajaran dan sistem pembelajaran yang Michael dapatkan saat ini ya, meskipun lagi corona ya kita bilang ya.
Iya, kan ada support session juga misalnya gitu sama dosen-dosennya. Terus kayak emang bagus sih, jadi kayak belajarnya benar-benar tetap hampir sama kayak onsite gitu, tetap diperhatiin gitu, jadi bagus.
Oke. So berarti selama setahun ini kalau dari sisi Michael berarti apa nih? Kelasnya fully online atau masih di mix? Ada online, ada face to face? Karena kan programnya Michael Music ya.
Dulu ada onsite kan, tapi sekarang semuanya udah online.
Oke. Sudah online semua ya sampai saat ini. Tapi you enjoy that, right? Maksudnya nggak ngerasa left behind atau ngerasa susah ngikutin nggak kalau menurut dari Michael sendiri?
Enggak sih, nggak terlalu susah.
Oke.
Kalau ada pertanyaan kan tinggal tanya.
Oke, that's interesting. Berarti memang fully supportnya itu memang ada ya dari faculty dan dari uni sendiri, dari kampus ya. Nah, ini pertanyaan yang sama buat Richard, tapi mungkin Richard lebih mungkin bisa malah ngebandingin kali ya Richard between your face-to-face experience compared to online classes for the past of 1 year, I suppose, pada saat pandemi. Mungkin Richard lebih bisa ngebandingin, comparing, terus bisa menurut Richard mana sih yang paling enak, face-to-face atau online, atau gimana sih menurut pendapat Richard?
Kalau menurut saya ya definitely face to face ya, karena bisa pakai fasilitas sekolah dan lain-lain. Tapi karena saya kan architecture ya, majornya architecture, jadi saya butuh software untuk di komputer. Karena pandemi ini harus face to face juga. Untungnya sekolah nge-provide semua fasilitas gitu, tapi via online. Contoh kayak software Photoshop atau InDesign atau kayak gitu-gitu. Jadi sebenarnya sih nggak jauh beda, cuma kayak nggak ketemu orang aja gitu aja.
Oke.
Untuk
Nggak ketemu
fasilitas
orang,
masih.
Nggak temennya nggak ketemu secara fisik berarti kan ya?
Iya, nggak ketemu secara fisik. Tapi regarding untuk fasilitas atau apa, kita masih dapat semua sih. Bahkan kita masih bisa akses untuk library juga.
Oke. Nah, kalau di-compare antara study group misalnya, kalau misalkan ada kerja kelompok yang bareng gitu ya, team project gitu, gampangan mana antara memang kemarin masih face to face sama online? Ya, secara umum mungkin lebih gampang face to face, tapi kalau menurut Richard, apakah jauh berbeda banget nggak sih kalau dibandingkan gitu ya?
nggak jauh-jauh banget sih sejujur aja. Soalnya kan semua online juga, in the end juga kita contoh nih kalau grup project kan pasti ada kayak presentasi kan.
Yep.
In the end juga kita bisa share presentasi, bisa share PowerPoint sama-sama kayak gitu sih. Nggak jauh beda juga.
Oke. Jadi sebenarnya nggak ada kayak semacam gap, jadinya malah beda banget, malah jadi shock ya buat student tadi, yang apalagi terutama buat Richard yang tadinya dia terbiasa dengan face to face ritmenya, terus begitu dia shifting ke online, malah sebenarnya you don't have any problem at all ya berarti ya.
Iya.
Oke, that's interesting. Oke. Nah, boleh nggak sih ceritain ini mungkin ke Michael dulu kali ya. Ini kan Michael setahun nih selama ini pandemi ya. Kalau boleh ceritain kayak day to day-nya Michael tuh kayak apa sih Michael kalau boleh tahu? Karena kelasnya online ya. Mungkin ada beberapa kelas yang face to face selama setahun ini atau semuanya full online?
Iya, ada awal-awal doang. Tapi
awal-awal ya berarti. Oke.
Boleh
Ceritain nggak sedikit buat teman-teman viewers dari acara ini kayak sehari-hari tuh kalau online selama ini atau mungkin kemarin sempat kerja kuliahnya face to face gitu, kayak day to day-nya tuh bangun jam berapa tadinya kalau misalkan ada kelas, terus sekarang kalau online malah mungkin lebih lebih ini lagi kali, lebih siang atau gimana. Boleh nggak sedikit ceritain ke teman-teman viewers kita?
Kan di sini emang kebanyakan kelasnya siang kan, jadi kayak bangun tidur nggak jadi masalah sih, soalnya kayak biasanya kelas baru mulai kayak setelah jam 12 gitu kan.
Oke.
Jadi terus kayak emang aku orangnya juga jarang kayak jalan-jalan gitu, suka di kamaran, jadi nggak jadi masalah sih sebenarnya gitu.
Oke. So nggak ada problem apa-apa ya. Nah, sekarang kalau untuk Richard nih, saya lempar ke Richard. Kalau daily rutinnya, day to day-nya kan pasti beda nih ya antara face to face sama online. Kalau dulu mungkin face to face bangunnya mungkin lebih lebih early, atau you got a lot of things to do before you go to the campus, atau sekarang karena semuanya di dormitory atau di apartemen gitu ya, karena nggak keluar. Gimana, boleh nggak share sedikit gitu day to day rutinnya biar teman-teman yang menyaksikan acara ini bisa dapat insight kayak apa sih day to day-nya kalau misalkan kita kelas online sama face to face gitu loh.
Kalau waktu face to face bangun pasti lebih pagi sih, tapi kelasnya juga mungkin jam 9, udah itu pasti jam 9, nggak mungkin lebih pagi kayaknya. Jam 9 biasanya mulainya. Jadi untuk jalan ke kampus juga kayak cuma 2 menit, jadi nggak perlu buru-buru juga ya. Terus
nggak commuting ya berarti ya?
Iya, karena dingin banget di sini juga, asal berangkat aja, nggak pakai mandi juga apa-apa. Karena dingin banget di sini. Tapi kalau untuk online class yang sekarang sih enjoy aja sih, bangun siang juga nggak apa-apa. Dan kalau misal kita telat atau nggak masuk di timetable-nya gitu, kita masih ada pre-recorded-nya, jadi santai aja.
Oke, jadi student bisa revisit ya kalau misalkan tadi ketinggalan gitu ya. Oke. Oh, berarti cuman sebenarnya membiasakan diri aja ya dari face to face sama online, karena kan ya format platformnya mungkin ya yang berbeda ya. Oke. Sekarang saya ada pertanyaan, karena kita ngomongin kelasnya kan hampir semua sekarang online gitu ya. Apa sih yang menurut kalian, menurut Michael yang mungkin saat ini di tahun pertama, dan menurut Richard karena kalian berdua adalah jurusannya berbeda ya gitu, satu musik, satu di arsitektur gitu ya. Selama online kira-kiranya apa sih yang menurut kalian yang menjadi biggest challenge gitu ya, kayak apakah bangunnya ataukah mungkin tadi ngerjain tugasnya kalau deadline itu yang aduh ini menantang banget. Kira-kira apa sih kalau menurut Michael dan Richard? Mungkin Michael bisa mulai duluan.
Apa ya, kayaknya biggest challenge-nya
kalau online classes ada nggak menurut Michael?
Mungkin pelajarannya itu sendiri ya, soalnya kan mungkin ada beberapa pelajaran yang agak sulit, tapi challenge selain itu nggak ada sih sebenarnya. Tinggal kerjain tugas aja.
Kalau sulit berarti sebenarnya kan bisa seeking assistant dari faculty gitu ya berarti ya Michael ya?
Atau nggak bisa research sendiri kan, misalnya kurang ngerti apa gitu. Jadi nggak ada masalah sih sebenarnya.
Oke. Kalau dari Richard, mungkin kalau biggest challenge, kalau tadi saya ngomongnya online, mungkin kita pertanyaan jadi dua nih. Kalau Richard, what is your biggest challenge taking face-to-face classes compared to taking online classes?
Kalau untuk face-to-face sih biggest challenge-nya cuman kita harus ngomong Inggris terus ya tiap hari. Capek juga ngomong Inggris terus tiap hari. Tapi kalau untuk online class mungkin biggest challenge kalau untuk saya personal sih saya lebih suka kerja tugas di library atau di studio gitu. Karena kayak nggak banyak distraction. Kalau di sini di rumah banyak banget distraction, itu aja sih.
Oke, jadi sebenarnya malah kalau face to face enaknya kamu bisa visit facility tadi yang kamu bilang juga di awal ya.
Studio, library banyak banget.
Yes. Jadi lebih bisa terkonsentrasi lah gitu ya untuk mengerjakan tugas.
Dan resourcesnya banyak juga. Jadi jalan ke kiri, jalan ke kanan udah deket banget sama resources gitu.
Oke. Nah, sekarang nih khusus buat Richard nih, kan kamu sekarang sebagai Indonesian President Society tadi Suat also mentioning about the community and there is this Malaysia Indonesia night. So mungkin Richard bisa share sedikit nggak sih kira-kira kayak apa sih yang dilakukan sama Indonesian community di University of Huddersfield? Mungkin kita ngomong ya jangan pas corona ya, kalau lagi pandemi mungkin everything is stop gitu ya. Tapi mungkin karena sekarang Richard di final year mungkin bisa share sedikit experience dan activity yang mungkin selama ini memang sudah diagendakan, cuman unfortunately misalnya karena corona ini jadi kan semua stop begitu aja gitu. Mungkin Richard bisa share sedikit.
Jadi dulu Indonesian Society, karena Indonesian Society ini juga nggak sendirian, banyak juga society yang lain dari Asia juga. Kita biasanya collab. Jadi contoh kayak dulu Malindo Malaysia sama Indonesia, kita buat acara di kampus untuk merepresentasikan Indonesia dan Malaysia. Kita menunjukkan adat, culture, terus juga sama kita menyediakan makanan juga dan events lainnya. Kalau untuk events yang waktu pandemi sekarang sih kita ada event, cuma karena semua online ya kita juga melakukan semua online. Untuk global event kita ada kita beberapa bulan yang lalu kita ada music day. Jadi orang seperti kayak gini, kayak kumpul-kumpul Zoom dan kita bernyanyi bersama atau bagaimana. Dan ada juga game night juga, kita main game Valorant, LOL dan lain-lain, rame-rame juga. Terus juga ada cooking workshop juga, jadi setiap orang live cooking workshop dan lain-lain sih, banyak juga sih yang bisa dilakukan meskipun setelah pandemi ini.
Oke, so ini mungkin karena katanya kan UK akan mulai lagi, kelas bisa mulai lagi mungkin by May or June kali ya, mungkin di bulan itu akan kembali lagi normal kali ya, nanti mungkin semua agenda-agenda yang sudah direncanakan. Oke, so berarti tapi sebenarnya masih saling backup dan saling support dalam artian masih tetap in touch sama teman-teman tadi yang mungkin Indonesian Society, mungkin tadi yang Richard bilang collaboration sama different countries, tapi jadi jadi melting pot ya istilahnya, jadi biar sama-sama di perantauan gitu istilahnya, saling support terutama during pandemic ya. Oke. Nah, saya ada pertanyaan lagi nih buat kalian berdua gitu kan, tadi kalau dari Suet dia cerita kalau it is walking distance, dan juga Richard, Michael juga sedikit cerita it's walking distance here and everywhere, tuh deket banget gitu. Cuman in terms of safety gitu dari your point of view gitu ya, gimana sih insight kalau kayak kotanya sendiri, terus apalagi terutama buat Richard kali yang sudah di tahun terakhirnya gitu, dan mungkin buat Michael kesannya buat Huddersfield sendiri selama setahun ini gitu. Jadi mungkin Richard boleh share sedikit.
Untuk safety sih safety aja sih. Aku juga dari dulu di Huddersfield pulangnya juga kayak jam 3 malam, jalan kaki juga nggak apa-apa, nggak ada apa-apa, sepi juga kok. Jadi aman-aman aja sih. Iya.
Oke, kalau dari kotanya sendiri kan emang semuanya nempel gitu dalam artian kalau mau ke supermarket or mall gitu itu mungkin Richard bisa sedikit
deket banget. Jadi town center deket banget sama University of Huddersfield, deket banget kayak 5 menit jalan, dan di town center itu semua ada di town center. Literally semua ada di town center. Restoran, shopping mall dan lain-lain. Jadi deket banget sih, jalan kaki bisa 5 menit.
Okay. Jalan kaki ya kemana-mana berarti. Michael juga begitu ya? Jalan kaki juga ya Michael?
Iya, jalan kaki atau enggak naik bis. Iya.
Naik bis berarti untuk distance yang berapa jauh tuh? Kayak 5-10 minutes kali ya dari
soalnya
kampus?
Aku milih tempat tinggalnya tuh yang agak jauh gitu. Tapi
oke. Berarti
kita kan jadi bagus gitu buat jalan
kaki. Iya, gitu. karena Michael ngambil majornya musik ya, jadi memang justru menghindari tengah kota gitu kali ya.
Iya. Biar lebih quiet.
Berapa jauh Michael kalau kita boleh tahu tempat akomodasi kamu dari kampus?
Oh ya, itu naik bis 20 menit.
20 menit naik bis ya. Berarti kalau kita mau compare dari tempat akomodasi kamu dengan yang di tengah kota, istilahnya malah berarti lebih murah lagi dong ya, living monthly expenses untuk si tempat tinggal secara umum
gitu.
Bisa dibilang lebih murah lagi berarti ya. Oke, menarik. Gini berarti kan karena related sama program ya, karena kan pasti tiap orang punya output masing-masing. Karena tadi mungkin benar yang Michael bilang, kalau di tengah kota mungkin agak sedikit berisik tadi ya. Oke, nanti saya ada pertanyaan terakhir buat Michael dan Richard. Hold that thought, tunggu dulu gitu. But Sued, we already have a question coming from the viewers, so we going to went through all the question one by one. This is from Fancy. For the PhD program, is it possible if we do research in Indonesia fully online, or maybe go to campus for every 3 or 6 months? So I assume because of the pandemic situation. Can you share a bit on that?
Yes, you'll have to discuss this with your supervisor to arrange the possible arrangement for both of you. So it is possible, but you have to discuss it with them to see what's the best arrangement. Yes.
Okay, so there is a chance and the possibility, but again, it depends on how you communicate it with the supervisor. Okay, all right. So can we move to the next question? What is the popular program for bachelor program? I mean, for the strong faculty, any partial or scholarship for bachelor? Sweat, you might want to cover that. I know that you mentioned that in our earlier session.
Yeah, it's fine. So the popular bachelor programs, I would say for Southeast Asian students, it's usually business and engineering, but we are also seeing a growth in the trend for arts and design courses. Yeah. And then in terms of scholarships, we offer up to £5,000 for every year of the studies. So you have to put in an application, go through the interview, and see how much you get. Depends on the performance during the interview as well. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned it is for the entire study duration. So that will be assessed by year based on GPA. So they might lose the numbers of the amount of the scholarship if the GPA is, for example, lower than expected, or how does it work?
No, actually, as long as you are able to progress from year 1 to year 2, as long as you are able to progress to the next year, to the following year, you will still get the scholarships.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. So hopefully Gisela menjawab pertanyaannya ya. Okay. Another question from Gisela is how far I think the location, the campus, University of Huddersfield from London?
It's about 3 hours by train.
By train, okay. But it is quite accessible, right? Even taking a train from Huddersfield to London?
Yeah, it's quite convenient. So there's usually one transit in between. So I think you go to Wakefield, and then from Wakefield you go straight down to London. So there's only one transit. So it's only 2 hours, 45 minutes to 3 hours. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure Richard is visiting London quite often, I think, for the past of almost 4 years, isn't it?
Yeah, I did. Definitely, yeah.
Berapa tiketnya kalau dari Huddersfield ke London spend untuk Richard?
Untuk kereta kalau beli jauh-jauh sih bisa dapat yang 30 pound, 40 pound, tapi kalau beli yang mendadak bisa sampai 100 sih.
Oh, oke. Berarti mendingan di plan jauh-jauh hari ya, biar
Iya,
lebih
di plan
murah ya.
jauh-jauh hari. Iya.
Okay, interesting point of view. Okay, so we have another question, but this is for Richard. Richard, kalau di Indo ambil arsitek kan kerjain project, kadang suka sampai nggak tidur. Kalau di UK seperti apa project atau tugasnya? Oke. Contohnya.
Oke, kalau di UK sih, kalau untuk nggak tidur kan tergantung dari orang ya. Kalau ditunda-tunda terus juga nggak tidur nanti. Tapi kalau dikerjain langsung juga nggak mungkin nggak bisa tidur, pasti tidur. Dan kalau yang aku notice bedanya architecture di Indonesia sama di UK ini kayaknya kalau di UK kita lebih site visit, kita lebih ke TKP dan lebih apa ya, lebih seperti simulasi lah, seperti simulasi daripada banyak teori. Dan kita juga nggak sering-sering market buat gedung physically, kita lebih belajar untuk presentasi, mempresentasikan building kita dan desain-desain kita, itu aja sih.
Dan itu lebih banyak individual project atau group project kalau tadi yang Richard cerita?
Tiap tahun pasti ada group project at least satu atau dua. Tapi mostly yang lain individu.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so before we close our session today, Sued, Richard, and Michael, I have a final question to the three of you, of course. Sued, from your point of view, and Richard and Michael, of course, what is your message to Indonesian students that I think now those are sitting in grade 12 and planning to continue and pursue their higher education during this pandemic time, because pandemic is not yet over and nobody can guarantee, right? So can you suggest any how to say this, advice for our viewers, mostly to all Indonesian students? Sued, you can go first.
Yep. From application point of view, well, so I would strongly encourage you to apply early, like from now, because we do have an application deadline this year, which is 30th of June. So please put in your application early, and because from this year onwards, you can now apply for your CAS as early as 6 months before. So pretty much you can start applying for CAS once you already got your offer letter and paid all the deposit. So you can pretty much prepare yourself from now onwards. So please apply early. And also for the scholarships, there's also deadlines as well. And of course, I'll be doing 3 rounds of interviews. So you can go on our website, check out on the deadlines and when is the closing date for applications. Put in early, and then you'll get the scholarships. Well, depends on your performance. So then you can secure the scholarships as soon as possible. Yeah.
Okay. Nah, kalau dari Richard, Michael, ada saran nggak buat student dari Indonesia yang lagi galau-galau nih? Kira-kira mau lanjut nggak ya? Aduh, kok takut ya? Or mungkin, aduh, postponing ya? Atau gimana? Mungkin dari Richard, Michael bisa kasih saran buat teman-teman yang menyaksikan acara sore hari ini?
Mungkin kalau dari saran sih belajar masak. Karena di sini kalau masak jauh lebih murah. Dan Sweat juga mention about scholarship as well. What I think is about the scholarship is actually aku kan melakukan foundation dan melakukan architecture bachelor juga di sini, dan semuanya juga dapat scholarship. Jadi kalau aku bisa, kalian juga masih bisa sih.
Oke, so berarti nggak harus menunda ya gara-gara pandemi berarti ya, Richard?
Iya, nggak harus sih.
Oke.
Di sini juga dari cuacanya bagus.
Oke. Kalau dari Michael gimana menurut ini Michael?
Iya tadi benar, cuacanya bagus sama iya jangan nunda sih, sayang banget misalnya setahun gitu ditunda, ambil aja gitu. Tapi palingan misalnya tahun depan juga pasti lebih banyak onsite-nya kan. Jadi menurut saya ambil aja.
Okay. So that conclude our session for today. So buat teman-teman yang saat ini yang menyaksikan live session hari ini, nanti mungkin bisa kontak ACC Global kalau teman-teman ada yang pengen berbicara langsung dengan Sued, mungkin tadi mau ngobrol mengenai scholarship atau mungkin related dengan program yang ingin diambil. Nanti mungkin bisa follow our social media, ada Instagram, Facebook di AACC Indonesia, atau mungkin di LinkedIn atau YouTube kita, ada di AACC Global Indonesia. Atau mungkin biar lebih gampang, biar terupdate sama acara-acara kita, mungkin teman-teman bisa go to www.aacc.event, di sana ada kumpulan acara-acara kita, yang teman-teman bisa langsung sign up, nanti tim ahli dari AACC, konsultan ahli kami akan memberikan advice yang terbaik, dan mungkin kalau memang tertarik mau berbicara lebih lanjut dengan tim dari University of Huddersfield, nanti kita bisa arrange one-on-one session-nya. Oke? Terima kasih buat teman-teman yang menyaksikan acara ini, and big thanks to Sued from University of Huddersfield, and to Richard and Michael. All the best for your study. So thank you so much, and stay safe, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.